Today we're going to be working on one of the most important yet most overlooked rudiments, and that is the single stroke roll. Single strokes are rudiments that are often overlooked because they seem really simple, but I can almost guarantee there's a couple things you're missing out on that are really holding you back. By the end of this clip, you should be able to play faster, get a better sound, and use less energy. And of course, there will definitely be a bonus tip at the end of the video for the people that stick around. To really get a grasp on singles, we have to go to the absolute foundation of drum technique, which is our grip. Personally, I don't think it really matters how you hold your sticks. You can learn how to play fast and hard using traditional technique or using French grip, German grip, American grip. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're holding your sticks in a way that feels good to you, and that should do the trick. However, one thing that does make a huge difference is how much rebound you're getting. If you want to learn how to play faster, you have to work on your rebound. So if you're playing correctly, your stick should feel nice and light and bounce easily off the drum. And initially, you might think, oh yeah, I'm letting the stick bounce, but you have to literally feel like you're pulling the stick off of the drum and pull it back as far as you can. It'll feel unnatural initially, but that's okay. You'll start to get the hang of it soon. And if you're doing it correctly, it'll feel like you're just bouncing a basketball and you're kind of absorbing the shock as it rebounds upwards. So now that you know how to get a nice solid rebound, let's try working it into our playing a little bit. Often, it's going to be your left hand or your weak hand that's holding you back when you play singles. So let's try playing some open-handed grooves to get that up to par. You don't have to play grooves that use a whole bunch of independence or something super technical. Our main focus is still your weak hand, which I'm assuming is your left hand. And the next tip to keep things relevant to the drum set, I'd recommend learning some songs that use alternating 16th notes on the hi-hat. You can start off with something simpler or slow like Funky Drummer by James Brown or Bloody Sunday. And then if you're really strong at it, you can go up to, say, Mr. Brightside or even Everlong if you want to give that a shot. Learning songs like that will almost unconsciously get you better at singles because you're focusing on a drum groove, but you're still just going right, left, right, left, right, left throughout the entire song. One of the most important things about getting nice, even singles is just your stick heights. And a big tip that really helped me is rather than thinking of going right, left, right, left, right, left, and thinking in twos like 1 and 2 and 3 and, you can think in triplets or groupings of threes. So you can go like 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and that will stop you playing with a right hand dominance and getting those accents taken care of. Another super important aspect of singles is just getting good solid time. So a lot of it just comes down to playing with a metronome, but you have to also actively make sure you're playing slowly enough. Count out loud, play slowly, and try out different subdivisions. And make sure it all sounds nice and even and it's rhythmically subdivided correctly. This next tip is something that I often find myself forgetting about, especially when I'm playing grooves, but you have to really know where you're hitting the drum. If you want a short focus sound, hit the center of the drum. If you want a more wide open, ringy, overtone heavy sound, then you can play near the edges. But make sure you know where you're hitting and why you're doing that. That will totally change the sound of your singles or any of your fills, so get a grasp of that. This next tip is actually the first exercise I'm going to show you, but it was one that really helped me out in my first year of university, so let's check it out. It's kind of a common one, but if you just start off slow and then gradually speed it up over the course of weeks or even months if you got the time, it will make a huge difference in your playing. What I like about it is you work on right hand lead and left hand lead, and then while you're working on your right hand lead, your left hand is also getting a short break. So those little pauses kind of give your muscles time to recover and get ready for the next burst. I kind of gave away the next tip already, but working on bursts will also help you a ton. You can start off with licks like Her does. You can start them with right hand lead or left hand lead and then gradually get them longer and longer as you get more comfortable with them. Or you can eventually just play a long string of singles and then take a 10-second break or something like that, shake out your wrists, and then have at it again. It's actually pretty rare that when we're playing songs, we play singles for a really long period, so learning these little bursts like this are super useful. Another thing I really like to do is find exercises where you can work on something unconsciously. So if you play, say, accent exercises, you're going right, left, right, left, right, left almost the whole time, and so you're theoretically working on singles without even knowing it. So take some of your favorite accent exercises and just work on those. It's a great way to change things up and still keep your singles happening. And finally, here's tip number 10, and that is to just have a practice pad anywhere you find yourself waiting around your house. You can even just have it in your backpack, whatever, who cares? You can practice your singles while you're waiting at the bus stop. Any little time that you can find to work on this stuff is really gonna help you out in the long run. especially if you like to watch TV shows or something like that, or sports. You just practice your singles while you're doing that, and it can totally change things. All right, so now for your bonus tip, and that is to just take a break. If you've been working on this stuff for weeks or months or something, it can start to get pretty draining and kind of frustrating. So if that's happening, just stop working on that for a while and then come back to it in either a couple days or even a week or something like that. Every time I've done that, I almost always come back and I'm better, I'm feeling loose, and things are just clicking. And that kind of makes sense because there's no shortcuts. You just have to put in the time, and it literally takes time. You can't just learn to do this in 1 or 2 weeks or something. So I hope all those tips will help you out in the future. But if you want to learn how to use doubles and molar stroke as well to complement your singles, you can check out these videos here.